Welcome to Uninformed. I'm your host, John Clark, and making the Kessel run in 12 parsecs, it's Harrison Leake.
Oh, what? Sorry. What the fuck was
not
that?
watch Star Wars?
You've never seen Star Wars, Harry?
reference.
Holy shit, I did not put that together. I'm sorry, I honestly heard that, and for some reason did not make a connection to Star Wars, and just imagine listening to that without a Star Wars connection. I'm like, what the fuck is John smoking?
You are banished from geekdom forever.
Yeah. Goodbye, sir.
Let's try
You
that
go
again.
into exile with the furries.
No, why
Okay.
try it again? Let's keep going. Your ignorance is on display for all to see. Well, Andrew Finn is not here this week. He is busy, just as I was last week. So this week, bullseyeing Womprap's back home in his T16. It's Callan Hilston.
Oh, there's a lot of bullseye going on here.
And shutting down all trash compactors on the detention level. God damn it, 3PO, shut down all trash compactors on the detention level. It's Tucker.
That's the reference I got? God damn it.
Well, I was trying to think, because the conceit we always do is you have the shittiest reference. Like, you have the bad reference to everything. Like, when we did Village People, I think you were the black guy. So, what's
Wait, why is
worse?
that bad?
Nothing. I have plenty of policemen as friends. What's worse than, being the trash compactor in Star Wars? I don't know. Like, what would you choose to be a reference to?
Ooh, hold on. What was the name of the monster that was in the trash compactor? That thing was cool. Awesome.
I'm
but
sure
also...
it's got a name, but it's sentient, and I didn't want Tucker to seem sentient, so he has to be a machine that just compacts trash. You're a glorified set of intestines, is what you are.
He can be the blue elephant thing.
Oh, that actually has a name. Hold on, keyboard typing coming in.
Yes, you encounter them in the Old Republic.
What? Max Rebo, that's his name.
Max Repo.
Really?
Max Rebo.
Did you just type in the Google Blue Elephant thing?
Star Wars Blue Elephant.
Blue elephant.
Thank you, Google.
I think they live on Hoth. They're, you encounter them in the Old Republic.
They're called, here we go, they're called, where are they? Ortolan.
Yep. Ortolan.
And they live in their frigid homeworld, Orto. And because there is no Orto in the Old Republic, they are on Hoth, which is equally cold. Should be called cold. Great joke, John. 10 out of 10.
Terrible.
You go with the furries too.
Yeah. Now, follow up from me real quick before I move on to you guys. I'm really sorry about last episode, everyone.
Where were you?
Callan is here to ruin everything, as the intro said. Anime.
I am seeking therapy. I'm currently in immersion therapy.
4.
As in, I immerse myself in what I'm supposed to be getting rid of.
I don't. Is there a trained professional assisting you in this therapy, or you're just immersing yourself in anime? I believe.
I will not answer this question.
I believe it's later.
I believe the therapy is working.
Harry, any follow up from you?
Nah, nothing from me. It's actually, it's kind of sad since we had a big anime thing last week. Justice has been served by John towards us, and it is a sad day for anime fans the world over, as Studio Ghibli, the makers of movies such as Spirited Away, has officially closed down.
Now, you've got that as your story. Did you want to talk about that now? Or
Yeah, I'll just talk about it now, because I am actually extremely sad about this. I mean, this thing is like my childhood. If anyone ever asked me, but what is art? I would just...
Okay, Harry, without looking up, what's your favourite Studio Ghibli film, and you can't pick Princess Mononoke or Spirited Away?
my favourite's Ponyo.
Well, that's my two.
Ponyo.
Oh, Ponyo
No,
is...
don't
like
say
Ponyo,
Ponyo, John.
It's the only one I've seen.
No, don't.
Wait, you started with only Ponyo?
Yeah, and I hated it, so I didn't.
I mean, most of the films are...
I'd never heard of him. Seriously, never heard of.
Really?
Never
Wow.
heard of Hayao Miyazaki, and never heard of Studio Ghibli until
That is so
Ni no Kuni. No, his name sounds like that. It's like Hayao. That's what it sounds like.
Ponyo is like extra young though. It's for like really young kids.
I liked it. I mean,
What
I
about
liked
Howl's
it.
Moving Castle, The
No.
Grave of the Fireflies?
That's good.
Oh, did they do Grave with Fireflies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Studio
Okay.
Ghibli.
Well, I have seen that.
Feels.
That was.
Well, there's also Norska Valley in the... wait. Yes, there's Valley in the
And,
Wind, Castle...
Wait! We're talking about anime again. No.
Even when John's here, I succeed.
Immersion therapy and all that.
Immersion therapy.
So I'm a little confused, Harry, because after Ponyo, he said that was the last film he was ever going to make. So why is this a thing?
So he retired. That was a known thing, and that was kind of sad, but understandable. The guy's getting on in age. But it was sort of hoped that Studio Ghibli could kind of carry on. Surely they'd understand the formula by now, or at least have been able to pull some of his artistic merit and been able to reproduce it. But no, they just couldn't. He was obviously the
Ponyo
talent.
was like 2008, so they did it for a while. They did Ni no Kuni, which was alright. You know, that looks real good.
Yeah.
See, I thought they were still working on a product in the background, but really not.
Well, all they announced was that they were stopping production. Their production team is stopping. That
And as
doesn't
a
mean that
production
artist,
company-
concept, and storyboard has disappeared.
So they're probably still working on, say, language translations and stuff for their popular films. Or at least still going for some merchandising material. So
Yeah, there's lots of merch. There's still going to be kind of like a, what do you call it, skeleton crew company, as in they're still going to look after their merch and their copyright. But other than that, everyone else is gone, which is really sad. I mean, they should have just gone to Kickstarter or something because they have so much cred. Everyone
Kickstarter
loves
does
them.
not randomly generate artistic merit.
Yeah, no, I don't think that they are out of money or anything. It's just they're out of love for it, or they don't have the right talent, or this was always the plan. Once Hayao
Most
Miyazaki
of the talent moved to basically ASCII Media Works and KyoAni. Because they're the ones that make all the money and Funimation, etc.
Yeah.
Sunshine, because they're the ones that are easily marketable to the West. Ghibli was less so.
Yeah,
apart from
hence why I'd never heard
Spirited
of it.
Away and Ponyo, none of them were really too successful in the West. I mean, you had Mononoke and Howl's Moving Castle, which were quite successful, but most people haven't even heard of any of the others. Most people, well, as John noticed, weren't even aware that Grave
They
of the
existed.
Fireflies was...
Well, I didn't know that was Studio Ghibli. Now, that was great. That was genuinely great. But
That was an amazing movie. So many feels.
But, I mean, that was, 15 years ago or something.
So in 1988 it was made.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. No,
Long
if
time.
anyone has not seen Spirited Away, I just don't actually count them as a human. Just, you do not register to me as a person.
You live in a very unpopulated world, don't you, Harry?
Yeah.
I like
Surrounded by these meat bags. HK47 knows what's up. Another Star Wars reference. So this is... I mean, wouldn't you think that this would be in the plan all along? Like, once he leaves and they still have to wrap up their current contracts, localizing stuff, whatever they need to do.
His son used to do a lot of work.
Sorry, say that again?
Hayao Miyazaki's son used to do a lot of work. I just can't remember the fuck his name. Let me have a look.
It's probably Yo Miyazaki.
Oh,
What's up, Miyazaki? So it's probably something that's been in the pipeline for a while. And I mean, when they say, oh, they're wrapping up production but not actually shutting the company down, it's like, what does that really mean? It's like when LucasArts said, oh, we're not making Star Wars films anymore. LucasArts. It's like, well, okay, you're going to get sold to Disney and away you go.
Yeah, so hold on. Your example has...
Yeah,
is one where
could this be sold to someone?
I hope so.
I mean, the best case scenario for someone like me would be something like Funimation, because I've heard of Funimation. And they could market, things like, I guess, I don't know, Howl's Moving Castle stuff I've never seen, more to the West. Because that'd be a best case scenario for them.
Not necessarily. I mean, this is a company that's always had art over production. All of their movies has
but now they have no art.
Yeah.
They have no more art.
Funimation won't touch anything that's not a typical shonen, like Naruto or Bleach or anything like that. They won't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
No. Okay, there's no chance, and that's a good thing. I'd rather they actually die off than suddenly try to mass produce something.
So how is this different
they'll
to something like Naruto or whatever, which seems just as esoteric?
Well, one's a
Japanese to me.
TV. That's sort of like asking what's the difference between the Star Wars Clone Wars animation and the Star Wars movies.
They're both good, though. I
Yeah,
like the
but one's a
Clone Wars
TV series and one are movies.
Okay, so you
Studio
could have just said
Ghibli-
that.
Studio
You could have just
Ghibli
said
does-
one's a movie and one's a TV show. You didn't have to give me an analogy of a different movie and TV show.
No, but also
I'm
just
aware
the
they're
significance
different
in quality.
mediums. Yeah, no, but I mean, there's always Phantom Menace. Being a TV show doesn't automatically detract from your quality.
But it is a
Breaking
completely different
Bad
game.
and all that sort of stuff. You know.
Like the whole industry is different.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Regardless, I've derailed this enough. John, please get it back on track.
No, but is there an industry for anime films outside of Japan? That's the thing.
To a certain degree, but they're always based on the TV series, and they're released more as OAVs than anything else.
Oh, wait,
Yeah, no, agreed.
Original animated video.
Yeah, so Studio Ghibli's always broken that tradition by just producing a single standalone movie, which has been typically considered a piece of art as well as a sellable product. So unfortunately, it's way too niche to sell off, I think. And at the end of the day, probably a good thing, because I'd hate to see Studio Ghibli's name thrown on something that's, like an episodic thing that's thrown out every month.
I'd basically imagine that all they're going to do is outsource the production, probably most likely to Kyoto Animation. Because they're essentially the only ones that have experience in film production apart from Ghibli.
Could work.
Well, speaking of Japan, the most poorly sold console of all time, the PlayStation 4. No, it's just poorly sold in Japan, that is.
Yeah.
Which is very surprising, but we talked about that a few episodes ago. Something exciting's just been announced for it, hasn't it, Cal? In addition to another platform.
I should probably read the show notes before I go in, shouldn't I?
No Man's Sky.
But of course. Sorry, that relates more to the PC than it does.
But it was a time
more exciting
exclusive
for the
PS4
PC
and all
users.
that. Yeah.
So behold, gentle listeners, as we regale the fact that you no longer have to buy a PS4 to get No Man's Sky. You'll get it a lot sooner if you do, but you don't need it anymore. Because it has been said that it is going to be coming out for PC, and the PS4 exclusive was a timed exclusive.
Do we know how long the time is?
Let's have a look, because I didn't actually get that far.
Let me highlight the URL, copy it and paste it into my browser, and then read the article I was paraphrasing from memory.
No, there's no announcement. It's It launches in 2015, but they've got nothing in mind. I mean, when you think about most of the games that do go on to PS4 or Xbox exclusive or console exclusive, there's usually no real time frame. I mean, GTA was exactly the same. They said, "Oh yeah, we'll release it in December." They didn't tell you which December they were releasing it in, but they released it.
And so it's this December. It's a year later. Yeah. No, you're exactly right.
I mean, anyone who believes what they say when they say, "Look, we're releasing it on this console on this date, and then we're going to move it to another console or platform on this date," don't believe them.
Yeah. Now, I because they are an indie studio and their entire office got flooded and destroyed last year, they probably made this deal because obviously Sony would be chucking a lot of dollars at them for this to get the timed exclusive. So they probably needed it to finish development. So I'm happy for them to do a timed exclusive if they needed to do that to get the game out. But this is good news. It just means we don't have to worry about needing to get a PlayStation. I've noticed a lot of developers doing this recently. Sony's chucked a ton of money at Bungie to make it look like Destiny is a PlayStation exclusive, even though it isn't. They're making it look like it by showing everything with PlayStation logos, every sort of E3 and stuff. They show it in the PlayStation press conference. They're trying to associate Destiny with the PlayStation brand the same way that Halo's always been associated with the Xbox brand. And this seems to be a more and more ongoing deal that game development companies are making with publishers and platforms like Xbox and PlayStation. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that's a good move for them, or just good for the studio and bad for customers? What do you think?
It could be good for PlayStation, because PlayStation might use this game as a platform to kind of push the Morpheus project. So.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Well, that's not coming out for like 2 years, though, right?
Oh, possibly, but I mean, we don't see this game coming out. It's not coming out this year. No Man's Sky is correct. Probably next year.
Next year, yeah.
So possibly at the end of next year during the Christmas season or something like that. So
I'm pretty sure no one's updated it, but it says that the release is supposed to be December 31st, 2015. But I'm fairly sure that's just the default one they put in when they don't know 2015.
Yeah, it'll be pushed. I read an interview where the guy said, "Look, it could be even 2016 or 2017," so they have no idea. But when it's on PC, we can play it with the glorious Oculus Rift, which would be very...
Yeah, so, I mean, it'd be an interesting way to compare the different platforms, say, Oculus Rift versus Morpheus, so... I mean, it could be just that PlayStation want to put their brand on the game, which could hopefully, well, in their eyes, hopefully push the Morpheus project, or whatever they decide to call it.
Well, I mean, it's to push PlayStations.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Destiny will be out 2 years... This isn't specifically about No Man's Sky. Destiny will be out 2 years before Morpheus is out. Because Destiny's out in a month and a half or something. And it's to sell PlayStations. The problem is it good for... Is it bad for consumers? You know, I think it is. I think it's bad for consumers, but good for a very specific subset of consumers.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Gents, do you believe there will be a next generation of consoles? Do you reckon this is the last one?
Well, if you'd asked me 6 months ago, 6 to 9 months ago, lol 69, I would have said it's doubtful. You know, I would have said it's very doubtful that there will be another generation after this. There's definitely not going to be another Nintendo. I doubt that, but...
there could be.
Yeah, they've got a lot of money in the bank. But these consoles have sold faster than any other previous console generation. You know, it's the PS4 and the 360 have both sold faster than the One. Both sold faster than the 360 and PS3 and the PS2 and the Nintendo 64 and the Sega Saturn. You know, it's sold faster and faster and to more and more people within the same time frame. So
that's because consoles are more acceptable.
Yeah, no, and they're cheaper. I mean, you know, remember
definitely.
PS2 was $750, $800, and then the PS3 there.
It was about $1,000.
What was his name? Kaz Hirai or whatever, the president and CEO of Sony back then? The guy who had to retire early because he fucked up the PlayStation 3 so much. He said that you should all get second jobs to be able to pay for the PS3. He said that on stage at E3. And then he told us to attack the crab for massive damage in its weak spot. Also, wasn't he the Ridge Racer guy as well? Ridge Racer! Anyway.
Initial D!
Now, I just talked for about 5 minutes and completely forgot what you were talking about, what you asked.
What you asked? I can't even remember who was asked.
Oh, will there be another console generation? Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, yes, I think there will be. We love our PCs because of, you know, PC Master Race and all that sort of thing, but there's obviously a bigger market for console gaming than PC gaming. So
as long as the market exists, there will be someone who will make it.
All right, because it seems to me like companies have fooled themselves into it's not okay to make a profit. It must be a larger amount of profit than before. If
companies have always done that, Harry, that's what companies do.
Yeah, I know.
Capitalism, Harry.
Exactly, but I'm saying that they're getting desperate because they cannot meet their own expectations anymore. You've seen what's happened with the
I'm failing to see what you're saying and how it is in any way unusual.
I'm saying that they could release the PlayStation 5 and they could make money, but they couldn't get it across board. They couldn't get approval to do that because the marketing figures would come in and it would possibly, hypothetically speaking, make less money than the PlayStation 4. So
That's
look at
possible to make less money than PlayStation 4. I understand what you're saying, though, Harry. I know what you mean, but I think that the reason this is a unique situation now, as opposed to 10, 15 years ago, is obviously something massive. The bigger rise of the internet and tech journalism and people commenting online and YouTube and people hyping stuff up. So, like, was it you, Carl, was saying last week about Half-Life 3? You know, if Half-Life 3 does eventually come out and it comes with strippers and it's the best thing ever, people will still find something to be disappointed
I'm pretty sure I said blackjack and hookers.
Blackjack and hookers. Blackjack?
No, I'm just making a Futurama reference.
Oh, okay. I was like, huh? It comes with blackjack. That's great. And it happens all the time at the moment with every tech product that comes out. Whatever Samsung phone comes out, everyone's excited for it, and then they get it and it's shit. Everyone hypes up, the next big Apple product, whatever. iWatch comes out, and it may be a perfectly fine piece of kit, but because it's been hyped up so much, everyone, if it's not as big of a deal as the iPhone when it first came out, then it will be a disappointment. So the rise of the internet and more tech journalism is pushing that way, I think, Harry.
Sorry,
I love the language he just used to describe the Samsung and the Apple product.
What do you mean bias? What bias? I don't know even how to bias.
I'm sorry, but I just had this really funny thought of the iWatch and somebody answering their phone by punching themselves in the head. Hello.
That'd be Harry, all right. You're the only one among us who actually wants a smartwatch, isn't it, Harry?
God damn it! When the hell is the Moto 360 coming out? I need this thing.
Don't buy it, man. Oh, it's so bad looking.
Wait, is that the round one or the square one?
It's the round one.
That's the round one.
It's the best looking of those, like the square ones and all that sort of stuff that they're releasing, the Android Wear ones. It's the best looking of them, but it's just so compromised. Why would you get the first generation?
Yeah.
Like, they can't even get the black bar on the bottom to be fully circle.
Now, have I told the uninformed audience about my brilliant Google Watch app that I want to make?
I don't remember. Did we talk about it?
No, we left off.
Did you tell us off air? Cal, have you heard about his idea?
I don't think I have, and I don't really think I want to.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was going to get a little...
Is it like a
M-rated.
pedometer, except it counts how often you fap?
Pretty much. Yeah, that's exactly it, Callan.
Callan, you know me so well.
It's about to get a little M-rated. All right, go ahead, Harry.
Ladies and gentlemen, every now and then an application comes that just revolutionizes... revolutionizes...
A fapplication!
A fapplication.
That blows its load all over your face.
No, I just think, this thing is tied into the Google experience. So, you're sitting on your couch and you type in something a little bit risque into your tablet Google search, and your phone goes, hey, I can see you just searched for something a bit risque. And you can use your tablet for, the main input, so to speak. But what if I just give you some, additional imagery? And since I have a gyroscope and everything in this watch, maybe I can give you some stats on, how many times you've wanked.
I still think it's the worst idea ever. Who wants stats of that sort of thing? This is how sad I've been in a pie chart.
Do you hear that? That is the sound of me smacking my head repeatedly against the desk.
Wait, can you imagine the tech support, like this kind of product? It's like, there's something wrong with it.
Excuse me, I've got blisters. What do I do?
It's just going to be all variations.
Just not get me there.
Yeah, it's going to be all variations of, whoops, tech support, I just came on my watch.
These things are water resistant
not working.
for a reason.
I say it's either that or...
It's fine.
Sir, do you have a Google Watch? No, I just came on my watch.
Oh, terrible.
What?
Oh, wow.
I'm not even following you, John.
I don't even know.
Anyway, I think it would be something that people would download for the lols, and that's good enough when it comes to app development, really.
That's true. Not Angry Birds, Flappy Bird's back out, and apparently it's better.
Oh, really?
Because you know how he quit in a big huff because people were sending him death threats and all that sort of stuff? And...
I thought he quit because EA offered him a job.
No.
Yeah, I thought that was the reason.
You just keep his stupid mind where EA's the devil all the time. That's why.
No, I heard the same thing.
That's not a thing. That didn't happen.
Yeah, that is a
he
thing,
quit because he had a mental breakdown. That's a rumor. That didn't happen.
John,
What, are they developing
how many
Flappy
times?
Field? Flappy Field 4 Hardline?
No, he came back. He's still an indie developer, and he's re-released it with, like, I don't know, more ads, I guess.
John, how many times have I corrected you on follow-up?
This is not a real thing. He doesn't work for EA. What are you talking about?
No.
No. EA offered him a job.
Yeah, but he didn't quit because of that.
Yes, he did.
Then why doesn't he work for EA?
No, that's just it. He got a job offer from EA, looked at his own game and went, what have I made? What have I done?
No, he didn't. EA doesn't... What you think is the big evil of EA is only in America and on the internet. He's from Vietnam.
I.e. the world.
Yeah. He's from Vietnam. He doesn't have any of this... I mean, I'm not saying he's naive or something like that, but he doesn't have any of this sort of anti-EA bullshit that you've got going on.
We will see. Until next episode, where I prove you entirely wrong.
Well... So, now that
Would you like me to move on to my news piece for this evening? Because I have found an absolutely fantastic link, which I believe I've shared with the group here.
No, I think we can leave that one.
I think it's a scientific piece that warrants some great discussion. The iPhone 5C versus a train. It's brilliant.
Yes, I've seen that. That is brilliant.
I think it takes a truly keen scientific mind to put the new iPhone on a train track and have a train run over it. The scientific results were quite conclusive.
So how is this different to Will It Blend?
Well, because that's trying to sell you a blender. This is in the name of science. Clearly, very different.
Are they sponsored by a blender company, Will It Blend? They must be, right?
Yes, they're trying to sell you the blender.
Since when?
Since the very first episode of Will It Blend.
I've never even realised that.
Wow.
I don't know the name of the blender, do you?
No, but I mean, you don't really need to, because they introduce it on the front of every episode, so it just, if you're interested, then you buy it. I don't need to search very far to find out what the name of this blender is.
Well, what train should I buy?
The one that destroys iPhones.
Just about any, really. No, he wants the Android killing version. I'm sure Apple will make one ASAP.
Yeah. That's alright, you just need a bicycle for that.
I don't think you'd feel the same way if you watched the Android one get destroyed.
I feel movements. I need the application, I think.
Good.
What I would like to see is to see if a Cat B15 can hold up to it.
A what? Oh, I've heard about that. Yeah. Didn't you talk about that last week?
Quickly, yeah, because I actually got to hold one when I was at the last CeBIT 2 years ago, and I just found it funny because I'm actually just watching a video of it now where it gets run over by a car, and it actually did break the screen. Wow.
Hey,
we were smashing this thing with a hammer and it was still good.
Just quickly, is CeBIT an Australian-only thing, or should we tell the
international
international
it's run by
audience?
Hanover Fairs. The main one's actually held in Hanover in Germany.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, CeBIT is Hanover Trade Fairs. But yeah, it's getting basically pushed to the side really now because it's become mostly just everything as a service. I call the startup alley now Arse Alley because everyone is something as a service. Like just everything as a service, like platform as a service, freaking software as a service, bloody infrastructure as a service, everything as a damn service.
Yeah.
Well, it's because services are easily offer better revenue streams and stuff compared to say sell the product.
Yeah, it's why Oracle.
Not anymore. There's too fucking many of them. They're all cutting their margins.
It's because it's the preferred business model.
Did it, you know?
They're all. Everyone I've talked to who's in the like as a service sort of industry. It was used to be very good margins, but it's not anymore because there's just too many people. The market's flooded and margins are just dropping.
Well, it's sort of like, that company that made those machines specifically designed to mine bitcoins. And then, of course, to counter the inflation, they just reduced the value of bitcoins. So people spent, $10,000 on these mining machines, and they would have paid for themselves in 5 days flat. But now it'll take about 5 years for them to just earn back the money they've lost.
Well, I'm actually looking more forward to Integrate, which is coming up end of this month.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Does it end in GR8?
No, it does not end in 8. Number 8. No, Integrate is AV and systems integration.
Gee, that sounds like totally not a dry topic, and I'm really excited to learn about all the AV systems.
Audio, visual, and systems integration.
That was really interesting. I really want to know what the next HDMI spec's going to be like.
Like HDMI, DisplayPort's the way of the future, buddy.
Yeah, HDMI's a piece of shit.
There is the Australian Gaming Expo next week.
Ooh.
Which has absolutely nothing to do with this brand of gaming, but I have to attend.
poker and shit.
Yep. Poker machine, poker, stuff like that.
You got me all excited.
Likewise.
Then again, hold on. When's PAX this year? Because there's a PAX Australia now.
Yes, but it's down in Melbourne, and I particularly feel like
October. We're too late. Let's go next year. Let's go next year.
Wait, you just said October.
Yeah, October.
So why can we go this year?
Because I don't want to go this year.
Okay. So...
Let's go next year when I can plan it better. It's only a couple months away. Too late. Too late for me. Far too late for now, anyways. Now, while we were sort of kind of maybe Callan Hilston version of On Topic on the PlayStation, so PlayStation Now is getting fucking shit on all over the internet this week.
Because, my God, no.
So just for those who don't know, PlayStation Now is their streaming service, streaming and rental service, where you can like stream PS3 games on your PS4 or your Vita or your Sony Bravia TV, whatever. And it's getting shit on all over the internet because it's doing a Microsoft, which is... So right now on your PlayStation 4, you can enjoy 90 days of the 2012 PS3 racing game, F1 2013, even though it came out in 2012, for the low price of $50. US.
This is the worst business model ever. Oh my God.
Is that a little too expensive? Well, you could try 90 days of NASCAR 14 for $40 US, so it's probably $60 here. 90 days of Dirt 3 for $27. Grid 2 is pretty affordable, $22, but that's probably $35 in Australia.
I was about to say, isn't this more closer to what
the retail
they did with the Old Republic and the Elder Scrolls Online? It's like, hey, we're going to make this really awesome MMO. Yay, hopefully it's really good. Hey, give me a ton of money for it. Get fucked.
Yeah, but that's an MMO. I mean, MMOs have subscription. This thing's... Okay, you want Deus Ex Revolution, Human Evolution? $5 for 4 hours, $7 for a week, $15 for 30 days, or $30 for 90 days.
I didn't ask for this, John.
Or you can... I didn't ask for this. Or you can just go on Steam and buy it for like $4 now.
But I didn't ask for this, John.
I didn't ask for this. So if those numbers are making your head hurt, you're not alone. So it entered open beta a while ago, and it's releasing now. And every PS4 owner has entered a fantasy world where Sony believes it's acceptable to charge $50 for 90-day rentals. Congratulations, PlayStation owners. Yeah, it's ridiculous. What do you guys think? Too much?
Way too much, and I'm a PlayStation fan, and even I won't pay that much.
You're a Final Fantasy guy, right? So
yes.
You got Lightning Returns recently. You went and paid for it. So how much did you pay for it?
I paid $13, maybe less.
13.
I think the price is
30,
still on
like
30. Okay.
Yeah, it's like $25-$30. I got it on special. Like,
you got it on special. If you were to go buy retail, like if you were to get it on,
it's probably $40.
$40 to $50. Okay, so
$40.
Yeah. So because it's a relatively new game, Yeah. So, or would you prefer to rent it for $20 for 30 days?
No.
Exactly.
I thought they would have got enough feedback from the beta, because I heard of some outrageous prices during the beta.
Well, they'll probably change it now that this is blown up and everyone's suddenly calling them Microsoft, which is the worst insult you can give someone.
The thing is, which fucking economist came up with the pricing model for this?
Did they
not realize...
John PlayStation.
No, normally it's either an economist or their accounting department, which does the cost figures. And they go, okay, what's our pricing policy on this? Okay, let's make a 20% premium on top of our cost. But generally, that's the idea of the basic pricing. On top of it, it actually doesn't really work very well. The whole streaming stuff. There's artifacts everywhere. You need, even with a really fast, like a fiber service and everything, it's still really stable
slow.
Stuff. Yeah,
it's still really quite slow. So it's not even that good, and they're asking you to pay this much. What do you think?
Although I will add one thing, I think they could possibly get away with a slightly higher premium price on maybe more classic games, say from the PlayStation or PlayStation 2. That's the only way I can possibly see this working.
Yeah, but to get this service, you need to already be paying for PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about if you want to say play Final Fantasy 7 or 8 on your PS4 and you want to stream it, or you want to play some old classic games.
Then it should be cheaper.
It should be, but like that's the only way I can see this, and that's essentially what I thought was going to be the purpose of them buying. What was the name of the company that did all this for them.
Gaikai.
Yeah, Gaikai.
Yeah.
And I assumed that this was going to be PlayStation's way of handling backwards compatibility. Because every time the new console comes out, they go, "Oh, there will or won't be."
Yeah, but nobody cares about backwards compatibility.
No, we care about having it.
Says
we never
they
use it.
do.
Yeah, the internet says it does, but
and nobody uses it. Like
this is why emulation wins.
Yay.
On a computer. Now in the meantime, in the past week, so EA came out with that. I forget what it's called. It's like EA. It's a subscription service on Xbox One. I forget what it is. And you pay $5 a month, and then for free you get to play EA games. You get to play Battlefield 4, FIFA, Madden, whatever, just for paying $5 a month. Now EA went to PlayStation, went to Sony, and said, "Hey, Sony, we'd like to bring this to your service as well." And Sony said, "No, blah blah blah. We don't think this is good value for the customer, all this sort of stuff." And in addition to all this bullshit with PlayStation Now, everyone on the internet's also going, "Well, Sony, that's not up to you to decide whether it's good for the customer or not. We want this thing. You're just trying to stop competition because they've got their PlayStation Plus thing where they give out free games for $5, $6 a month, whatever it is." So Sony's had a really bad month, in other words, I think.
But gents,
okay,
we do
Sony,
live...
I'll still buy you.
You would, Tucker. Gents, we do live in a world where some people actually pay for, porn off the internet, so you can make money.
True.
There'll always be someone.
Wait.
Some people do.
Wait, there's porn on the internet? Why have I not heard of this?
This point has gone off the rails instantly.
Yeah, fuck's sake, Harry.
I'm here to contribute.
Yeah, in the rear with the gear. While we're speaking about prices, actually, for PlayStation, apparently retail is dead, which makes me very happy. So Stardock did a customer report that said only 5 years ago, our survey showed that 58% of our customers bought their software in a box at retail. Further, 24% of them expected to still be doing so 5 years from then. In reality, it turned out to be 6%. Retail disappeared even faster than our tech-savvy customer base could have imagined. So, digital sales, 86%, retail, 6%, whatever's left, other, I guess. How does that make you feel, Harry, Lord of the Physical Media?
Oh, as I said. Not really, I actually buy most of my stuff online. It's just that I buy physical media online.
They count that as retail.
Oh, do they now?
Yeah. Digital sales is the majority.
I see.
And then retail is like Amazon counts as a retailer, for example.
I got you. Well, I'm skeptical. Skeptical cat is skeptical.
Yeah, I think for consoles, it's probably a bit higher than retail. I can definitely say this for, PC, because all my PC software, I don't go to a store and buy it anymore. Like games, for example, I pretty much download. I think the last game I went to the store was Assassin's Creed, Black Flag.
Yeah.
Only because it was $4 cheaper to buy it at the store than it was to buy it online.
$4 cheaper.
Seriously, man. I walked... It was a 30-second walk from my workplace to EV.
That's true. It's nearby. But we just finished having a big, long discussion about, these subscription services that are digital only and are looking like the way people are going to be playing games. PC aside, because PC is obviously mostly digital.
Yes.
On consoles, if consoles are indeed a bigger market than PC, or even if they match PC in their market size, they are all these consoles are now built for you to pay for PlayStation Plus, pay for PlayStation Now, pay for Xbox Live so you can get your free games every month, And they're all digital. It's just all digital. So I think this is probably a pretty accurate number.
Yeah, it depends on... I'm not going to say the legality because Steam doesn't actually let you buy a game per se.
Yeah, it's DRM just like anything else.
Yeah, but it feels like I do own a copy of this game.
Yeah.
That's why Steam is so abundantly successful. I have a library, and it would appear as though I have these games. I can go to any computer and install it on any computer within reason. As long as these other console services can give the same vibe, they'll be successful. But
Well,
it sounds
they do.
It
Like
sounds
my
like they don't.
Xbox account. Like if you buy an Xbox, Tucker, and I go log into my account on your Xbox, then bam, all my games are there. You know.
Well, John, given the possible future price of an Xbox, that's probably very feasible.
Yes. So some breaking news. Now this is still a rumor, but it's from the Brazilian Amazon site. It looks like, sorry, not Brazilian, Spanish. It looks like the Xbox is dropping to $350, which is 10 less than the Xbox 360. So is that a interesting enough price drop for you, Tucker?
Yeah, generally, like my normal position is I'm not going to buy a console unless it's a particular game I want. I can't think of any on the Xbox One that I want. I mean, obviously for PlayStation 4, there's the new Uncharted game, any Final Fantasy or Kingdom Hearts comes out in it. But I mean, at that price, at $350 Australian dollars, well, no, more likely be 400 Australian, I guess, or
It'd be 350 euros. So
well, that's
yeah,
that would translate to almost
drop down from
$400.
400 euros.
Okay, yeah. So at that price, I'm pretty tempted to buy it anyway.
Has
I would
nobody
laugh.
checked to see if this is from the Loch Ness Monster?
Yeah.
It's about Tree Fitty.
Oh.
Gents, I would laugh pretty hard if everyone's reaction to all these price drops was, lol, Xbox is obviously DOA, they just can't sell it.
And you know it's going to happen. I was expecting you to say something like that. That's the problem, though. That's the problem we were talking about just earlier with the expectations and not meeting expectations and people on the internet. The internet hates circle jerk that we all don't like but participate in either way. That's the sort of shit that just makes things not pleasant to be around on the internet. Because, Microsoft steps back and goes, all right, guys, we listened. We won't have this anti-used game stuff. You want to buy used games? Fine. All right, good. You can buy used games. Here you go. And everyone's like, oh, fucking Microsoft backpedaling bullshit cunts. And we're like, all right, fine, guys, fine. Here we go. You can have a version without the Kinect. It's cheaper. It's now in line with PlayStation. Here you go. Oh, fucking finally, these guys are dropping prices dead on arrival. It's like, God damn it, guys. Just give them a break. Really. Anyway.
Glad you got that out of your system.
Yeah, I just needed to get that out of my system. I'm actually not quite done with the Stardock Consumer Report yet, though, because mobile development is apparently generally not viable as a business model yet. And it's mostly due to the discoverability in the app stores. It looks like there needs to be more and more editorial control, I suppose, rather than just doing top lists, because if there's a top list and, say, something like, if, for example, like Flappy Bird gets to the top, then everyone just plays it over and over and over again, and downloads it over and over again, and that makes it high, and the rich get richer. While an editorialized list is obviously a lot better, so that's something that needs to happen. Now, real-time follow-up from Harry. Now, is this article actually... Okay, Flappy Bird developer realized the damage his game has done after EA offered him a job. Now, are there any quotes from here? An employee who works for EA, who wishes to remain anonymous, told us that Newen was extremely upset after he offered him a position at the company. And then the guy says, he called EA a really bad game company, which I think is unsubstantiated. And the guy just talks about what he thinks Newen did, or said. Come on, Harry, this isn't journalism.
Well, I mean, this is at a few pretty big name gaming websites.
Jack. Just Jack.
No last name, just Jack.
No last name, just Jack.
See, I clearly get my news from those reliable sources.
Oh, and here we go. There's a comment just below this article by someone called Totally Legit, and it says, haha, very funny, this is a troll article, confirmed, completely fake. So there we go, he's completely legit, so I trust him.
I see, and you wouldn't happen to have just opened an account on that website with that
completely
exact
legit. Name. Oh dear, I very likely have. Alright, I think that's the stories. No, Tucker, you have a story. Tell us all about it.
No, we can go past that.
No. Tell us all about the techcrunch.com/2014/08/2/Chinese-Communist Party.
You realise you could have just gone straight to the last part of that route, which was Chinese Communist Party back tech giants bring censorship to the global stage. Oh, censorship for all.
Mm-hmm.
Our lives are now simpler. So in my mad rush to find something to talk about tonight, I thought this was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, I think the company is Baidu or something. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, Baidu.
Baidu? Okay.
Yeah.
You got it right.
I know Baidu.
Yeah. Have you never heard of Baidu?
Do you work with anybody Chinese? Have you encountered anybody Chinese?
I'm marrying one. I'm marrying an Australian.
Yeah, but she's not Chinese, so there you go.
Baidu is huge.
They can't get Facebook, they can't get Google, that's this.
So
I realise they've got Weibo. Is it Weibo or their version of Facebook?
Seen a Weibo.
Weibo, whatever it is. Yeah.
They've also got Line, which is bigger in Taiwan, but whatever. Taiwan's part of China, fuck you.
But anyway, essentially these Chinese tech companies are pushing to have their search engines on a global scale. And I think the current market, or the current buyer, is the Brazilian market. So they wish to release their product into the Brazilian market.
Explain what you mean by having their product on a global scale. So it's a search engine and social network.
Yes, essentially it's a search engine which can be applicable in, say, Brazil, not just China, but also Brazil, and never ever in America or Europe. But, maybe countries or markets that are more in line with, or probably somewhat similar to, say, the Chinese market. Say, countries maybe still developing or still have a more government-prone
censorship and all that stuff. Like BRICS countries, like Russia and Brazil and South Africa and stuff like that, and India.
Let's just say when you search Tiananmen Square on this one, it comes up with a 404.
No, not even that. It'll come with
Tiananmen Square knocked down.
Okay, all right. I'll read this from the article. Here we go. So, a Google search for Falun Gong generates images of meditation, links to Brazilian and international Falun Gong websites, and accounts of human rights abuse inflicted by the Chinese government. Bado Busaka, I guess is the Brazilian version, is in a different world entirely. Oh my god, returning a total of just 66 results compared to the 1.3 million from Google. Every single one links to the state-run People's Daily newspaper with headlines like "Irrefutable evidence of Falun Gong's anti-humanitarian."
Humanitarian.
It doesn't say humanitarian. It says anti-humanity. Okay, I think you chose the wrong word there, but and
everything's just like a picture
opium.
of a thumbs. Everyone's just a picture of a thumbs up, and every article's like everything is okay.
Yeah. Okay, so essentially, what this just is, it's just these Chinese-backed tech companies pushing out these pre-packaged products of censorship. That's all this really is. It's just saying
how to censor for your plebs.
Exactly. I don't think this will ever pick up, say, in any westernized country. But as you mentioned, John,
it might. I think that the way that they'll market it is they'll say, "Hey, you're originally from China. You've immigrated to America. All your friends back in China and your family are still on this social network or still using this search engine. Why don't you come use this one instead of the evil Google?"
Yeah. It's either maybe the Australian government will pick this one up instead of their previous attempts to censor the internet.
Yeah, well,
I'm just surprised that somebody who has an Asian wife can't pronounce Falun Gong.
I didn't try to do it. Oh, you mean Tucker?
Yeah,
well,
the other
Asian
one
fiance. Asian fiance.
Fiance.
Oh, fiance. Same shit.
It's okay. When we get married, she will enforce that I take Mandarin lessons. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though Cantonese is the superior Chinese dialect.
Oh, I think they're both equal. I'm not going to say one's better than the other. I don't speak either of them. But although I did try. Look, I tried learning Mandarin once.
Much a dying language.
Wait, hold on. Look at this. So I've just gone to that article. Is the word you were trying to say, is that Falun Gong?
Yeah, Falun Gong.
Yeah, how's that hard to say? It's like.
Because I'm trying to think. Because I'm trying to think of the proper pronunciation of it. And then sometimes
no, Tugger, that's a dangerous arena. If you try to say it with the proper pronunciation,
it will come out terribly.
You just sound racist.
Yes, no, I am well aware of this. I will try and speak some Mandarin to my future family, my future in-laws, and it never ever turns out well.
No.
Generally, I get the bad stare and some shaking of the head and disapprovals all around the table. So I understand now why they put me in the corner and asked me not to speak.
Yeah, it's like a dog. It's like a dog trying to walk on its hind legs. You clap and you're like, "Oh, isn't that cute?" And then you make him go sit in the corner.
Yeah, generally it is. It's either that or they say you sound like a 1980s version of like some sort of language assisting learning thing. So it never turns out well for me. So I try not to. And then they argue, "Oh, why doesn't he learn Mandarin yet?" And I'm like, "Because every time I try to speak it, you give me crap about it."
Yeah.
But I am trying.
It's alright, Toe. We're just Guilos. We'll never understand.
You mean Guailao?
No, I mean
I do know that one. I
mean
know that
Guailo.
one quite well.
Guilo.
That one's actually dependent on where you are. In the far south of China, it's Guila.
Yeah. Hong Kong and Malaysia.
And in Beijing, it's Guilo, and same in Hong Kong.
Although, in my case, I'm not a Guilo, I'm a Phalo, which just means fat man. or Fei Chi, which is fat pig.
Okay, the other reason why I probably mispronounce it is because sometimes I look at it and I'll try and say it in Japanese. Because when I see it, I'm like, oh, that's a Japanese kind of word. Like, Baidu, but or something like that.
Right. like you'll try to talk about your laptop, you go, oh, MacBook Pro!
No, never. I would never say that. I'll just say MacBook Pro.
Well, Sandra, can you put something in the microwave, John?
That doesn't make sense. She's not Japanese.
Too much anime.
If we ever had any Asian listeners, they are now
No, we
abandoned
don't. Don't even try to say Ferrero Rocher. Alright.
Sandra, please don't leave me.
Yeah. What games have we been playing this week? Harry, what have you been playing?
Wow, I feel like I need to have been playing one of those VNs that Cal was recommending to me to just follow up that conversation.
Oh, yeah, Cal, I tried it. I tried a VN.
Which one?
I'm kidding, I didn't try one. I was just trying to get you excited.
You're an asshole, and I hate you.
No, it was
I gave you a challenge to play one by this week, Harry, and you did not.
Yes. No, I need to
me.
No, I must get further before I say anything. I would hate to give a uninformed response and criticism on it.
Advertising.
I'm going to insert some crickets there and a long silence after your little joke.
Thank you so much. We have a good friend by the name of Thomas, and I love to remind him about this game called Thomas Was Alone. And I remind him that he plays it every day, but then he reminds me that he has a girlfriend, and I don't.
Sad Charlie Brown music plays.
Yeah. Thomas Was Alone gives emotional empathy from the player onto two-dimensional squares and rectangles.
You've just described a video game, Harry.
No, like, you control a square, and the square can jump and slide around, and the narrator gives the square a personality which cannot be seen whatsoever. Mm-hmm. But the narration is so good, and the music is so feels-worthy that by the end of the game, you care about these squares more than you care about the companion cube out of Portal.
Wait, were you just dropping acid and playing with Lego?
Probably the person who made this game. But
now, just quickly, Harry, so explain a little bit about what it's about. Before you do, it's a couple of years old at this point.
Yes.
2010, it first came out as a Flash game. 2012 came out on computers, Windows and Mac. Last year, the Vita, the PS3, Linux, and then about a month ago on the iPad.
Only you would consider that old.
Well, 4 years old, 2010.
Oh, dear. Anyway, how do I explain it? Okay, 2D side-scroller jumpy platform thing. Initially, you just start out at each of these characters, I'll call them characters, individually. They all have different shapes and sizes and properties. Like, one of them will float on water because she's big and fat, and the others will sink. So, for example, if you encounter water, you put the big one in the water, it floats, and then put all the others on top of the big block. So it becomes like a single-player cooperative game where you use the different pieces to fit the different puzzles and get them all to the end of the level.
Sounds like a recent single-player co-op game we all enjoyed.
Ah, yes.
So wait, is this like a cross between, like, was it Flatland and Brothers, or?
What's Flatland?
Yeah, actually,
Is Flatland the book I'm thinking of about the? Maybe not.
I haven't played that one. But I do get a
I
brother's
will find out this book's name, and then I get back to you.
Okay.
But I do get a brother's vibe. It's all emotional, and the corporation, since you need to use all the blocks to get to the end of the level, it gives validation to the narrator saying how these different blocks or characters are getting along, and how they come to sort of trust each other, even though some of them initially really hate each other. Which is all stuff that only happens through the narration. You don't get anything from the actual playing itself, except for the fact that you're having to use all the blocks, and so it's subtle. If you were playing this game in a skeptical mindset, you would hate this game. You really would.
Yeah, because I'm thinking Super Mario and Tetris at the moment.
Oh, yes.
It certainly does look like that, yeah.
I was correct. Flatland, a romance of many dimensions.
That sounds brilliant.
Screams geometrically.
No, it's a 1884 satirical novel by an English schoolmaster.
It was written in 1884.
I was about to say, I don't remember any game development in 1884.
A 2010 Flash game reminded you of an 1884 novel.
Well, yeah, because it's about, like, squares and dimensions and stuff.
So's fucking your math textbook.
Good point. Let me go and get my discrete mathematics textbook right now.
So Harry, have you finished it? Or is it a long
Yes,
game?
I did. Not particularly long, a few hours. Probably no longer than Portal, I think. I don't quite understand the ending, which is good, because that way I can't spoil it.
It's Tetris. The whole thing is Tetris the whole time.
It's Tetris, but emotional. It's all about the feels and stuff.
That is Tetris.
I don't know. I cried at the end of Tetris.
That ending.
With the rocket ship flying off into space.
Yeah, when communism took over the West, it was very sad. So, a recommend from you then, Harry?
Yes, definitely. You should definitely give it a go. It's pretty much dirt cheap. I'm sure Steam has it for like $1 now.
Yeah.
Well worth your time.
Yeah, and available on all the platforms I mentioned earlier.
All the platforms.
All the platforms.
And if you have a friend called Thomas, then you can make fun of him while playing this game.
Like we do. Cal, what have you been playing this week?
I downloaded the Red Faction Collection for $6.
$6.
And I don't regret it. Mostly just because Red Faction won.
That confuses me, Callan, because in the show notes you've written "and the
No,
subsequent
I'll get to that.
Oh, okay. All right, then.
Red Faction 1, if you remember that, if any of you ever played Red Faction 1, most people know the remote charges glitch, where you throw a remote charge, you pick it up, and you get 2. Yeah. So you can actually find the one package of remote charges at the start of the game, and then just dig around the map for hours on end. Because Geomod. The one thing that I found very annoying was I've managed to finish that, speed ran it, and got it done in about 6 hours. Then I played Red Faction 2. I have never seen really many examples of a game where on every single point it was worse than its predecessor. Mechanics was worse. Graphics was worse. Story was worse. Everything was worse. So I speedran it and got it done in 3 hours. Yes, the campaign in the second one is half the time.
Wow.
And this is where it gets fun. Just this evening, I finally finished the download of Red Faction Guerrilla. Now, most of the time...
That's actually my favourite Red Faction.
Yes, but this is going to very much annoy you, John. Because they didn't get rid of a certain DRM from it before releasing it on Steam.
Oh no. What
I need a Games for Windows Live account.
Oh no!
Well, hold on. You have a Windows account, don't you? Surely.
I do, but it doesn't work. I don't understand why, so I'm currently getting a cracked DLL so that I can get around it.
Yeah, no, I played it on console when it came out. I didn't play it on computer, so I didn't...
Yeah, no, so I spent an hour and a half. It's saying, you need to sign in to save. And I'm like, bullshit, Steam would have gotten rid of that. Go to the menu, the save button is grayed out. Shit.
Yeah, I had the same issue with Bioshock 2.
Playing
It ruined my day. It ruined my day. Like, I bought it on Steam, install,
That's
played
your
it.
first mistake, Tucker.
I had vivid flashbacks of my old Final Fantasy VIII glitch where I couldn't save on the first disc.
Your life grayed out in front of you.
Yes, it did.
Okay, wait. Was Red Faction Armageddon better?
No,
I haven't played that
Guerrilla
one
was
yet.
better than Armageddon. Armageddon's the latest one.
Okay,
And
'cause I have-
There was a reason why Red
it's the
Faction
same
is no
deal
longer-
as Red Faction 2 to Red Faction 1. Guerrilla is way better.
Okay, Guerrilla's
So-
the only one I don't have on Steam.
Oh, Guerrilla's
Like-
great. It's so fun. It's so open world and the shit you can do, and it really fun.
You just destroy things, basically.
Yeah.
It's the blow shit up and destroy shit with a sledgehammer simulator.
Oh, I like that.
It's great. It's really fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Red Faction Armageddon, after that they announced the end of the Red Faction series, which is kind of annoying because the concepts they had were good, they just completely fucked it up on development. Every single one. Even Guerrilla didn't live up to its name. It was good, but it didn't live up to its name.
Yeah, well, it's a different game, really. It turned... See, the destruction in Red Faction originally was not a side project or something like that, but it was like... It wasn't the game, really, until after it had come out and everyone realised how much fun it was. And then they decided to make an entire game around it and then turn it third person, and that's Guerrilla. And it is very, very fun, but it's not, you're not a commie Mars, Red Faction, I suppose.
Well, the whole point is Red Faction was based on the ideas of revolutionary socialism.
Yep. Now, were you guys aware that there's actually a movie about Red Faction?
What?
Is there?
Yeah, there's a movie based on Red Faction, and as you can expect, it's just like number 2.
No!
Well, there's also a movie for Flatland, which I'm
There
putting
is?
in the chat.
Oh my god.
Look at the film poster for it, and I dare you not to laugh.
It's like Pac-Man on crack!
Yeah, it's like Pac-Man's going to give you a massive hug on top of a pyramid made of stone.
Oh.
That's ridiculous.
I like the
creepy.
thing how this is a Wikipedia article, by the way, listeners, and it says here the article's plot summary may be too long or excessively detailed.
Yeah, it's true. It's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A lot of paragraphs.
Yeah. You were counting paragraphs. So you're counting
I
pages
was
or
like, what are
something.
you
What are you
counting?
counting? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Lots of words.
Several thousand letters.
Yes, many words made up the plot.
Indeed. Tucker, have you been playing anything this week?
As I mentioned in last week's episode, I did intend on playing the new Naxxramas expansion for Hearthstone.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I was kind of slapped in the face by Telstra's inability to service all of Australia when I was down in Thredbo and had 0 reception where we were staying for the weekend.
Oh, they were servicing you all right. They were servicing you in your ass.
Yes, pretty much. The only service that I could find in the household was by the fireplace. So essentially, I had to hold my phone up to the chimney, which started to melt my case to get some sort of
you sound
reception.
like a rich dude. You sound like the only place I could get reception was near my fireplace. I was so mad my monocle almost popped out.
Yes, first world problems, I know. But
Well, that
my
also
intention
sounds-
was... Yeah, well, my intention was to play Hearthstone while the rest of my fiance's family played Mahjong, because I suck at Mahjong. But that didn't happen, so I just sat there and watched Mahjong for like 3 hours.
Why didn't you play Mahjong?
Because I can't play Mahjong. Like, I can understand the basics of the game and some of the tiles, but the rest I don't get it.
You should have just played Magic with them or something.
They don't play Magic, John. If they played Magic, I would have played it. No, but
Well,
I
we'll-
should probably learn Mahjong.
Yeah.
It looks interesting.
It's alright. It's not great.
I mean, it's similar to like poker. It's like just, you have to learn the combinations to win.
Yeah. Well, we'll be talking more about the new Hearthstone wing, the Plague Quarter, and by the time next episode comes out, probably the quarter after that, which I believe is the Military Quarter.
Yes, it should be.
Yes.
They're following the raid
Yeah,
release,
it's
right?
the same as in the raid, so I
Yep.
think that's a Military Quarter next. So we'll be talking about both of those next week. We haven't had a chance to play them yet, and we'll be putting some videos up on the channel as well for that. But the impressions around the internet is that it's very good, and if you didn't enjoy the first wing, this has a lot more a lot more difficulty. And apparently one of the skills, the class challenges, is where you're a hunter. You only get one card, and it's the one that summons a random beast companion. And that's all you can play for the entire thing. That's everything in your deck, and so you're just summoning random beast companions the entire time. You never know what you're going to get. It's quite cool. Anyway.
I heard these are very much one playthrough games though. There's not much game replayability after this. So.
Well, the point to play through is to find out what gimmick the other guy's using, and then make your own gimmick deck to match that, like to beat it. Find out what the gimmick is, find the the counter to it, and beat it. And then to get cards, because you get 30 new cards through playing.
Yeah, but don't you get them all through one playthrough, or maybe a very small amount of playthroughs?
So there's the playthrough, then there's heroics. You don't get the cards until you do the heroics, and they're
until you do the heroics. Yeah, you beat all the bosses essentially, and you get the cards.
Yeah, and so you get the cards that way through the heroics. But then you also there's also class challenges, and there's a bunch of other stuff as well. And considering how cheap it is, it makes sense. Any single player thing, any single player thing would be limited in replayability by nature. So.
But are those you can use those cards in the ladder, correct?
Yes, you can go ahead and I use a couple of cards already. I've put it in some of my decks. So not all the cards that the other guy plays are in the game. Just like in the StarCraft campaign, for example, there's no medics, because they'd be unbalanced. So they have medevacs instead, that sort of thing.
So there's a subset of the cards played against you can use in the ladder or in constructed.
Yes, and they've already released what they all are. They're up on the Battle.net website, so you can go and have a look at them. But yeah, just save up your gold or pay a couple of bucks. Go ahead, get into the quarter.
But they're not OP in any way. So the cards you get are probably well balanced compared to the rest of the cards.
They're balanced. They're all balanced.
Yeah.
By the way, Tucky, you'd better go and play this first wing already, because otherwise I think they start charging you.
Oh no, I logged into Hearthstone and I clicked on Adventures and I clicked on it and it says you have it. I just haven't actually done a playthrough yet.
Okay, alright.
Wait, do you have to actually get into a game and play it, or?
No, you have to just have unlocked that first little thing up the top. You know how it lists all the different quarters? You just have unlocked that and you see 3 bosses.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, on the topic of Hearthstone, the new season started.
Yes.
And I made the fatal mistake this morning of playing on Constructed. Which was the worst idea that I came up with this morning. Because I didn't realize that
all the legends and stuff are all
Yeah, exactly. So I went up against a shaman, and oh my god, you tell this guy has spent a lot of money on his deck.
Well, you can beat decks that have money spent.
No, I understand that. The fact that I looked at going, okay, you spent a lot of money, you've got a well constructed deck, and you completely wiped me at it. I think we'll kind of even up to about 15, and then he just dropped all his heroics and stuff. Sorry, all his legendaries. I'm like, yep, that's game.
Yeah, but legendaries have lots of weaknesses, Tucker. You've just got to build a better deck. You're stuck with the same deck.
Yeah, because I refuse to pay money for Hearthstone.
Why? You would get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
No, you understand my policy on free-to-play games. It's free to play, and I tend to keep it that way.
Alright, it's just, if you spend so much time and get so much enjoyment out of a game, what I tend to do is pay up until what I think it's worth in retail.
Yeah, but you've already dumped a shit ton of money on Hearthstone.
Not that much. Maybe $60, $70.
60 for a free-to-play game.
But that's the thing. You don't have to do that. Just go into the arena, get dust, make your own cards.
Well, that's what I intend on doing. Just the fact that arena takes 1 or 2 hours to do.
Just do it then. Do it before you go to sleep.
I have other things to do.
Then stop complaining. Then stop complaining about it then. For fuck's sake. Now, before we finish, some more games that are going to be coming up that are going to be on the YouTube channel. Cal, we are going to enlist your help into our Super Pro Elite MLG CSGO team.
Cool, I gotta actually buy it and download it.
Yeah, I think it's only $7 or $8. It's not very expensive.
15.
I'm finding something...
15.
How much?
Okay.
Whoa.
I think when I bought it was on sale, but yeah, 15 sounds about right. It's
I
worth
can
15.
buy it now and start
It's
downloading.
worth the $15, definitely.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
You just have to play D-Dust, that's it.
Yeah, that's all you need to do.
We just play D-Dust.
Is it the same D-Dust from CS Original?
Yes. Yeah. Well, Dust
Beauty,
2.
I already know where everything is.
Dust 1 was a piece of shit, but Dust 2 is the best Dust.
best does.
Yeah.
I'm finding something a little bit weird with our exploits on Counter-Strike, though.
What?
I'm starting to feel a bit like Coney. Like, we have amassed an army of 13 or 12-year-old kids that are willing to fight at our side, and they're all pretty good.
They're all really good, but like all these people keep adding me on Steam, and then we're playing with them, and they're really good, and then we talk to them in game, and they're like, "Oh hi guys, how's it going?"
Then we realise the mistake of speaking.
Yeah, but I mean, you have to speak if you're going to play competitive.
Yeah.
That's the way it is. But between Harry, Tucker, Cal, me, and I don't know, maybe Jono or something, Cal, we could get a good team going. So we'll be recording more of that. We'll also be putting some more Battlefield 4 stuff up, some multiplayer stuff, because I was playing with you, Cal, the other day, and that was very fun.
We found out exactly how many C4 sticks it takes to get a quad bike onto a roof. It is
And
4.
the answer is...
It's
4. If you do 3, you don't go high enough. If you do 5, you go far too high. 4 is the correct number.
Okay, have you tried having 2 of those things and then put 5 sticks of dynamite on it, or sorry, TNT or C4?
It's not
And then
TNT
explode
or
up.
dynamite, Tugger.
Yeah, I haven't played the demolitions much, so but when I do, I normally go the not the Stinger. Oh, no, I use Stinger for the aircraft. But what's the first one you get? RPG. There we go. I must play more BF4.
Yeah,
Play with us, it's freaking hilarious.
it's very.
I do. Well, I normally play with Finney, but then I generally have a bad time because I end up losing, or my camping spot isn't quite good.
And Finney's just depressing to play games with because everything's like, I fucking love Battlefield, but fuck Battlefield, fucking Battlefield.
No, it's generally good until they do the auto balancing and it puts me on the opposite team to Finney, and then Finney just finds a way to find me and then kill me. So.
Well, that's how you added him, right, Cal? On Origin, you were
I
annihilated
him in a stairwell.
and you were like, "Huh, Captain Finney. I wonder if that's Finney." Anyway,
that was good.
that's it from me this week, guys. Is that it from you?
Quick follow up. Mac surprised me with their. So yeah, Apple surprised me with their MacBook Pro refresh.
So you're gonna buy one now?
Yes.
Excellent.
But not at like because I have to. Because I want to. Because I have to.
Okay, you got to buy a new iPhone too now.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So,
Speaking of which, weren't there leaks for the iPhone 6, Harry?
So many links.
yeah, there's leaks everywhere. That's the thing. There's always hardware leaks because they make so many now that all these guys in these Chinese factories and stuff are just. I don't know. I guess they want to make money by selling it to Gizmodo and stuff. Pictures of the things. We never see the full thing. We always see like, oh, here's the screen, or here's the. We see component leaks. The most interesting one is the screen, which is apparently sapphire, and they did a bunch. Someone got a hold of the component and like tried to stab it with this knife, and it didn't even make a scratch, and rubbed sandpaper on it, didn't even make a scratch. It's not completely sapphire because then it'd be ridiculous, but it's coated with a laminate.
Just quickly, John, I'd love to get your reaction to what I thought was the most interesting rumor, which is probably completely fake, but even still. It was rumored that the new one would have, of course, a Thunderbolt or lightning thing at the bottom, but it would also have the laptop MagSafe connector at the side for a super fast charge.
Yeah, I heard that rumor. That's got to be a fake rumor because
would be cool.
Well, not really. I mean, if I plug my phone right now in, like if it's at 1%, 2%, I plug it in. It's fully charged up to 100% in about an hour, less. So it's already pretty fast.
Yeah, but I want 15 minutes.
Okay, wait, hold on a sec. I remember we had a discussion about a topic maybe a couple of episodes ago about the EU laws about having a unified charging system.
Yes.
But doesn't that mean... So maybe that's in a couple of years' time, but that means slowly Apple's probably going to have to switch over to a normal USB-based...
I don't know what they're going to do there, and I really hope they don't, because USB's a piece of shit. So I
They
really
have
hope
to
they
do
don't.
something.
Yeah, but the thing is, they have to
conform
with it.
I don't know what, though. I don't know what they would do. They'd have
Or does that just...
It'd be an adapter. They'd have to...
Was that to do with
give it an
connector
adapter.
standards, though? I thought that had to do with...
Yeah.
for charging and... Yeah, I think
So-
so.
Like, they're not going to switch away from
the
Lightning.
IEC again, I'm assuming.
Yeah. They're not
Yeah.
going to switch away from Lightning. they've put too much into it, and all their phones and devices have it now. It's going to be something along the lines of there'll be some adapter that gets released for free with the phone. They have to release it for free.
No, it's part of the law that it has to be a permanent part of the phone and not an adapter. It's clearly stated in the law, so that's not an option for them.
Well,
I think the only option would be maybe 2 ports, like it has a USB 3 and a Thunderbolt.
They wouldn't do 2 ports.
Actually, low-level manufacturers do it all the time.
Yeah, but they wouldn't do 2 ports.
Well, it's a legal requirement, so they got to do something.
No, if the choice was do 2 ports or just get rid of Lightning and just do micro USB bullshit crappy connector, then they'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which possibly means we'll see a different model essentially in Europe compared to everywhere else.
And they wouldn't do that either. Well, then again, the Verizon phone was different from the AT&T iPhone, so...
Really?
Yeah, one's GSM, one's CDMA, so they had to do 2 different versions.
Fair enough, but that's a back-end hardware thing that no one sees, so...
Yeah,
Or do they?
That'll be interesting, that'll be interesting to see what happens. Well, if we're still around in 2 years, and we'll let you guys know what's going on. But until that point, thank you for joining us for Uninformed. Please subscribe to us on iTunes, watch us on YouTube, tweet us at Uninformed News, or email us at uninformedpodcast@gmail.com. I'm John Clark.
I'm Harrison Leake.
I'm Callan Hilston.
And I'm Matt Tucker.
And you've become Uninformed.